to delays on the way to work, overnight breaking news, and hour-by-hour weather. The news that will make a difference and get you ready for your day. No matter how busy your mornings are, trust Local 3 News today.
We have left the studio to take a road trip up to Cleveland, and it kind of feels a bit like we've taken a trip back in time because we are at the Medical Center Compounding Pharmacy, talking at first with the pharmacist in charge, Cindy Smith. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I say that, taking a trip back in time, step back in time, for two reasons. One, the pharmacy has a great history here.
Yes, it does.
In Cleveland, which you're going to get into. But the other is your approach is kind of like that everything old is new again idea, where it's customer first and building trust.
Yes. We, Medical Center Pharmacy was originally known as Moore Drug Company.
Okay.
We have, and I don't know if you can see this down there, it was in 5 Points in Cleveland. And 1962 was when Ben Moore, our owner's father, actually bought it. It was called 5 Points Pharmacy originally, and then purchased by Ben Moore. And all of these little relics and things up here that we like to display are a reminder of where pharmacy actually came from and how its origin is based in, you know, the science of the pharmacist and the practitioner working together to come up with unique medications and treatments for their patients.
So let me pause a minute, because you say that so easily because it's what you do every day. But for some people hearing you, they might go, wait a minute, did I just hear her say what I thought she said? Which is that the pharmacist and the physician work hand in hand.
Yes.
So sometimes you can be not the mediator so much, but a voice in a way for your customers to ask questions.
We do try to do that. I look at it as a triad of the pharmacist, the provider, and the patient. Okay. And having open lines of communication in that triad, if you will, because if I can understand what a practitioner's goals are, and I can hear the voice of my patient and what their goals are, I try to be the one in the middle that, you know, kind of marries those two together so that we have successful outcomes. Many times the hindrance to successful outcomes is lack of education on the patient's part. The client doesn't understand all that the practitioner has in mind.
Right.
And so if I understand what my practitioner, what their goals in treatment and therapy are, it equips me to really be a source of information and knowledge for you or, you know, another client that would come in.
Okay, let me kind of zigzag a little bit with you this morning, because you are a medical center. You mentioned the history as the drugstore, but you revamped some years ago. So when you come in, what you see is everything that you would need for medical purposes. Diabetics are very much at home here. You've got things for neuropathy, right?
We do. We
all
have,
that type of thing.
We have all kind of things for assistance in ADLs. We have walkers and crutches and ostomy supplies. And our nurse, Amy Owenby, who is on staff, is also certified to do diabetic shoe fittings and mastectomy prosthesis. We just decided that we really wanted to be a source of medical information and assistance to the community.
Education's big for you too.
Yes.
And we're going to check in with Amy in a minute, but before we head her way, you are a compounding pharmacy. A lot of people still have questions about what that really involves. And you and I were talking, it sounds like the number one thing is it allows you to be completely personalized with the medications patients are getting.
Well, it is. A compounded medication is not a new drug. A compounded medication is actually made from chemicals that are FDA and USP approved. Drug manufacturers use these same, we call them APIs, or active pharmaceutical ingredients, and every compound is patient specific. It's not mass manufacturing.
Okay.
It is a physician may write this particular strength of a medication for patient A, but using those same components, this prescription for this strength for patient B. And it does allow access for individualized therapy, because in certain areas, it's not all a cookie cutter type fitting. We're different and patients have different needs. It also allows us, if someone's having trouble swallowing, we're able to do liquid preparations of some things.
Wow.
Some patients, we have to do topical preparations of some things because maybe they have advanced in their disease state and they didn't have a G-tube, and so we're now doing things in creams. So
and what happens is you know your patients.
Yes.
I know you serve people from as far down as Chattanooga all the way up to Athens.
Yes.
So even though you're in Cleveland, you're seeing people from all over choosing to come to you. Before we go check in with Amy and talk to her, I thought you had a great line, and you said, you didn't intend me to overhear it, but I did. And you said your main focus is building relationships.
Building relationships, because that's what I do. I'm a relationship builder, and the only way that I'm going to be able to be successful in helping my clients to the fullest of my ability is if I understand them and if they put their trust in me to talk to me about situations and things, side effects of medications, or things that have, you know, come up in their lives, and they're just trying to figure out all the components. You know, is a problem I'm having, is it medication related? Is it that I need a change in my medications? Do I need to have something else done? And a lot of times they will seek out a pharmacist because they have easier access to us. You know, they can just go in and say, what do you think about this? And if it's out of my realm of expertise, I have no problem saying, you need to get on your phone and call your physician, you know, right now. But if we can help them because we do know them, that's really what we try to do.
And sometimes what they need is a nurse. So let's go check in with Amy and talk about her side of things and how, once again, they're building that relationship with you here. So we've popped into the nurse's office. Amy Owenby is an LPN here at the Medical Center Compounding Pharmacy. Nice that you get to have an office here and that your patients and customers here have access to your services. This is very unique.
Yes, so I have been employed here for about 12 years, and I do a variety of things. So I give the injections from routine vaccinations to travel vaccines, and then we also have like a CLIA waiver, so I can do like certain testing, finger stick testing, like cholesterol checks. We can check like if they're on a blood thinner, like Coumadin, we can check those levels. A lot of times if they're have surgery, they have to be on blood thinners, so they have to get that checked weekly for a while. So we do coordinate with the physician that's ordered that and send those results to them.
And that saves them from having to go sit in the doctor's office. And it just lets the doctor be able to see their other patients more easily for something that's kind of routine in a way at that point. You know, we had talked a little bit with Cindy about the relationship factor that she loves to build with patients. And the truth is, over the 12 years that you've been here, probably with a lot of your customers, they've had a number of reasons to have to come health-wise and have your services.
Yes, so I do diabetic shoe fittings and mastectomy fittings here, and a lot of my clients I've had for years. Like if we, it's a routine thing with them. Every year they come back for these items. I do some injections per doctor's orders that are routine for them, like vitamin B12 injections. So I have developed relationships over the time, and they come back to me every year for flu vaccine. So that is very important to us.
And you also are very much a part of the community, since you mentioned the flu vaccine. Often you're the one going out. Businesses around here and even down in Chattanooga and northward call on you to come.
So September and October is very busy months for me. So I do visit companies. We can do flu clinics. We set those up throughout those 2 months. And I visit the company and actually give the vaccines on site.
You have a lot of medical equipment here too, and you didn't want that to go undiscussed, because whether it's that your child sprains their ankle on a Friday night, or you mentioned the surgery, orthopedic surgeries, you have to have a way to get around. You've got the wheelchairs and things.
Yes, we have a variety of medical equipment. So we've got, like you said, the wheelchairs. We have canes, crutches, walkers, the very famous rollators that people like that have the little seat. So we do those we take the majority of insurances. We do have to have a doctor's order to do that though.
You also, when we talk about seeing the whole family before I let you run, and it's not really your wheelhouse of expertise, but I'm going to throw it to you anyway. Often part of the family is your pet.
Yes.
And the compounding pharmacy here does a lot of veterinary prescriptions.
We do. So they work with the veterinarian with the prescription dosages and what's needed. And what's so neat about that is they can actually flavor it so it's easier for the pet to take it, because I mean animals don't always like to take their medication.
Right.
So they can formulate it so it's easier for them.
And Cindy had said that for cats especially it can be difficult to get them to take anything oral, so they can make it a cream sometimes.
Yes,
and you can just apply.
A transdermal on the ear, yes. It's very neat. They do some really neat things back there in the lab.
Well, I am thrilled that I was able to come out here before your busy season of September and October kicks in. So thanks for carving out some time.
Thank you for coming.
So whether you come just to pay them a visit, whether you want to have a conversation with Cindy or talk to Amy with an order from your doctor about getting some blood work done or something like that, they would love to let you become part of their family here at the Medical Center Compounding Pharmacy in Cleveland. The information there on your screen. Thanks again.
Thank you.
I think the importance of memory support programming is the ability to engage their brain in ongoing different ways to keep as many pathways as you can open. Our goal is to know people and to care for people.
When it comes to your health, local matters. Count on Local 3 News for expert local advice to help you stay well, live better, and raise a healthy family. Watch Eye on Health with Latrice Curry, Thursdays at 5 on Local 3 News.
Presented by the YMCA.
My sister tried to get her disability for over a year and a half with another law firm. But after we switched to Warren and Griffin, it only took a few months for her to get her benefits. While we were waiting, they called us almost weekly to keep in touch. They really know what they're doing and they care. You couldn't ask for a better law firm. 5 stars.
I'm C-Mark.